Hey, hi everyone. This is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. So today we are going to continue with our Docker session. So in today's class, I am planning to cover Selenium Grid integration with the Docker. So how you can simulate the grid concept with the help of the Dockers. Okay. So before jumping into the subject, let's first understand what is the VM and how exactly the automation scripts runs in the Selenium grid through the VMs. Okay, so the usually the automation test engineer they design their Selenium scripts, right? So here you can see this is the automation Selenium script, and then what happens? Then we have the Selenium hub, okay, and then there are the multiple VMs. Those are associated with this hub, and these VMs can be the physical or the virtual machines, but they will have a respective own operating system as well as the applications. Right here we are interested to run on the different browsers, right? So mostly for us the application will be we are interested in the browser like Edge, Firefox and Chrome, right? So if you see here I have taken one example, and here we have the VM1 which is having the Linux OS, and we have Edge, Firefox and Chrome. All the browsers are present here. Similarly, we have another VM which is having the Mac operating system, and it has all the browsers. Similarly, Windows VM, and it has all the browsers. And fourth VM is like Ubuntu, and it has Edge, Firefox and Chrome browsers. So what happens when you run your automation script, right? So it goes to the Selenium hub. Okay. So what does this hub do actually? What is the job of this hub? This hub is responsible for distributing your test cases to the VMs, okay, depending upon the configuration. Suppose I want to run my Selenium script in the Linux with the Chrome. So that test case will go to this machine, VM1, right? And similarly, I want to execute my test cases in the Mac with the Firefox. So it will go to the this VM, right? So similarly, so how the hub will know which VM to go, right? So because of the for that reason, all the VMs, right, whatever VMs are there, their addresses or the like URL, you can have the remote URL, right? So those has to be maintained and registered with the Selenium hub. So through that, Selenium hub will communicate with that VM and execute our test cases. Okay. So the problem with this approach is we need to have the multiple VMs, right? And these VMs are not free of cost. You need to pay some money to create the VMs, as well as you need to maintain it. Like you need to install the softwares, right? And you need to maintain it. So because of that, this is not scalable. You can say this is not scalable. Like suppose I want to have 40 50 VMs, it is really impossible. No one wants to spend that much of money in the infrastructure, right? So for that one, that is the main drawback of the Selenium grid with the VM. So now come to the concept of the Docker. Okay, so Selenium grid with the Docker. So here what happens? So instead of the VMs, right, we have the containers. Yesterday's session we saw, right, instead of the VMs we have the containers. Okay, and the containers will have the different combinations, right? So some OS will be there and some browser will be there. So now the container, like if you want to use it, download it from the Docker hub, use it, and after you are done, you can discard it, right? So similarly, what happens? We'll have the multiple containers here, and we'll have a Selenium hub, and our Selenium script is going to that Selenium hub, and that Selenium hub will start distributing based on our configuration. It is going to start distributing or start sending those tests to be run on the particular containers, right? So suppose I want to run one of my test script in the Linux with the Firefox, so it will go to this VM, right? Linux with the Firefox. Similarly, if you want to do if we want to do VM, I want to execute all my test cases in Mac with Edge or something, right? So depending upon that, it will go to the those kind of the containers, right? So and it will start executing. So now what we are going to do, Selenium grid with the Docker containers. Okay, So now for that, for this configuration, right, we need to do some settings, right? How we are going to do that? Okay, so for this one I can show you. We can go to the Selenium HQ and we can see. So this is the Selenium HQ, Docker Selenium, right? So here you can see open node. Yes, there are the different ways through which we can achieve this configuration. Like we can have one hub node and we can have the multiple nodes, specific node where we want to run our test script. So if you see right here, so standalone we have already seen hub and node here. So we can achieve this through the Docker networking. Okay, this is the one approach through which we can do this. And second one is we can use the different machines or the VM. Okay, and there is another way to go through the Docker Compose. Okay, so this is the easiest way to do actually. So let's go to this Docker Compose and learn today how we can achieve this hub and node configuration and how we can run our test cases in parallel to the Docker containers. Okay, so for that I'm going to use this version 3. This is the latest one. Let's use this one, version 3. Okay, so now here you can see, right? So this is the docker compose version 3.yml. So for this what we need to do, we need to create a yml file. Okay, and this is the configuration what we need to give to that yml file, and then we need to run this yml file, which will in turn what it will do, it will download all the images. Like what images we need here? So since here we are going to use hub and the 3 node configuration. 3 node configuration means I need like first node with the Chrome, second node with the Firefox, third node with the Edge. So 3 browsers we need. Okay, so here if you see Selenium image, right, this is the Chrome. So image is Selenium slash node Chrome. So this is the one of the image. So yesterday we have seen we have downloaded Selenium slash standalone Chrome, right? So those were for the standalone server. Now we are interested about the node server, right? So we will download the node Chrome. Similarly node Edge, Selenium node Edge, and similarly Selenium node Firefox. Okay, and then of course we need a Selenium hub. Okay, and then that configuration will put those all these details into the docker compose v3.yml. So you can give any name, right? Okay, so I'm going and I'm going with the same name whatever they have given, docker compose v3.yml. Okay, so for this let's go to the Eclipse. Okay, so in my project, right, docker project, this is the project I have created yesterday, right? So here on the root folder, right, here only I have like new file. Okay, so here give docker hyphen compose v3.yml. Okay, so after giving this one I copied the source code from here, right? So I have copied everything from here and pasted it here. Okay, and then you can see, right, so I have copied and pasted it here. So now my job is to instantiate all this, like download all these images and make a connection, establish a connection from the hub to these nodes, right? So how we're going to do that? So yeah, so now the same thing we're telling here. So we need to pull the Selenium hub from the Docker hub, and which is going to serve as the Selenium hub node. Similarly we can pull the respective nodes like Selenium node Chrome, Selenium node Edge, Selenium node Firefox, Selenium hub, right? And then this is the docker compose version 3.yml. So just now I showed you, right, that is the docker compose. So here if you see, let me explain a little bit more into this docker compose yml file. So here you can see the image. I'm going to download the Chrome image, and here I'm saying versions is specified like 4.1.0. if you want to go with the latest, so you can say colon latest instead of 4.1.0, whatever the version is there, that is called as the tag in docker. So we can remove this tag, we can say latest. Okay, so when we say latest, the latest version of the node Chrome will get downloaded. but here I am going with the same version or the tag number what is defined in the your docker compose, right? So this is the what I have doing. So now similarly for the age, okay, so we can also say latest, or we can go with the specific version. Similarly with the Firefox we can say, or we can go with the specific versions, right? And then we have the Selenium hub, okay. And if you see here, everywhere we are mentioning see node grid URL, so it is going to go to the localhost colon 4444, okay, localhost colon 4444. So it's going to they're going to listen on the port 4444, okay. So now how to do this configuration? For this doing this configuration we need to go to this folder actually, okay. We need to run this, right? So properties, open, okay. Now just see cmd command prompt. I'm going to open the command prompt, and here I have to type a command. What is that command? The command will be, this is the one, docker compose hyphen app docker compose. Okay, let me copy this command and I will explain you, okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to say docker hyphen compose, so hyphen f docker hyphen compose version 3.yml. so this is nothing but the docker compose up command, okay. So what we are going to do, whatever whatever the configuration we have already given in that yml file, those configuration will, like those images will get downloaded from the docker hub, and then the the association, right? So how has to maintain the node urls and all, right? How should be knowing like whatever the nodes attached to it. So those configuration, right, networking configuration will be done with the help of this command docker compose hyphen app, name of the docker compose yml file, and then you say up. So make the docker container up, make this grid configuration up. So let me click enter, hit enter. So it will take some time to download. Let's wait for some time. So you can see here, right, it started pulling Edge pulling, Selenium hub pulling, Chrome pulling, Firefox pulling, right? It started downloading everything. So let's wait for some more time and see uh, whether it is able to successfully complete or not, because it is going to take some time, okay. Yeah, it's kind of started extracting, already exist, pulling, okay, Selenium hub, okay. I'll pause the video for some time and we'll come back when the everything, the setup is done, okay. Okay, so it's done, guys. So let's see. If you see, so it's saying it is up and running, right? So it has downloaded all the pool and all everything. It downloaded all those files, okay. After downloading, it has created the container. Here you can see container Selenium hub created, okay. Container docker project h1 created, docker project firefox 1 created, chrome 1 also created, and then attaching to docker project chrome 1, docker project h1, docker project firefox 1, and Selenium hub. So these four are getting attached to the docker project, whatever the project I'm creating here, right? So here if you see, it should somewhere, it should say is up and running, right? So here you can say Selenium node entered running state, okay. So that means we are successfully able to download the image and started the containers, right? So now I can go to the URL and I can see. So till now localhost colon 4444 there was nothing, so it was like site cannot be reached, right? So now let's do a refresh on this one. So it's refreshing. Now you can see, right? So on the localhost 4444 we have Chrome and Firefox and sorry, Edge, Firefox and Chrome. So all the three browsers has been created. These are the node, and these nodes are associated with the hub, and this is localhost 4444. this is the grid, right? Selenium Grid 4.1.0. And then the next step is like we need to create the Selenium script and we need to run. So if you go to the notes here, you can see, right? So so this is the configuration, what setup we wanted to do. We achieve this kind of the setup through the Docker containers, right? So Docker Hub and Docker containers. So now, okay, one more thing I wanted to tell you guys, like when you are copying this docker compose version 3.yml, so make sure like you do not add any extra spaces or something like that, because what happens if you do that, it will not compose actually when you try the docker compose. So I got this kind of error, right? Top level object must be mapping, can't find a suitable configuration file in this directory, or any parent not found. So this kind of error you might find. So please be careful where whenever you are doing some formatting and all, just make sure your docker compose file is proper, right? And then you can run the command, right? So okay, so now we have already achieved this configuration. Now our job is to create the testng test cases and then start the execution. So why testng test cases? What was the problem with the earlier approach? As you guys know, right? So public static void main, we cannot run them in parallelly, right? Only at any instance of time JVM can only execute one main method, right? So for that one, what we are going to do, we are going to create the testng tests, right? So here source test Java. So these were from the yesterday session. I have created one more package. Okay, Selenium Docker Grid. Okay, so here these are nothing but the testng test. Okay, right click, new, author, testng class, give the name of the class, and then finish, right? This is what we did. This is what I did and created these classes. Okay, so now go to the docker grid chrome. So here, like yesterday we have done, right? So the configuration, like the code is essentially the same. The only thing is like we are here, we are using the testng and we are using the @test annotation, right? And same thing, chrome options we need to create, and then set capability platform any, and the web driver, right? We are going to register that to the remote web driver. The URL is localhost 4444 and chrome options, then driver.get google.com, and using chrome browser I'm going to print the title. So similarly I have the same code with the age option, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to print the amazon.com. We're navigating to amazon.com and we're going to print the title of the amazon.com. Similarly, the Firefox, we are using the Firefox options, and with that Firefox options, what we are going to do, we are going to go to the Flipkart, and using the using the Firefox browser, I'm going to print the title, right? So if you see that yesterday's class, right? So here you can see we are using localhost 4444 for the Selenium standalone Chrome, and similarly for Edge we are using 4446, and for the Firefox we are using 4445, right? Because these were independently running on that particular port, right? Since 4444 has already been taken by the Chrome, I cannot run the Edge standalone with the same port, right? So but here what happens in the grid, if you see, all the URLs are having pointing to the same URL, right? Localhost colon 4444, because this is the grid, right? So this is the hub and all the node are associated to that hub, if you see here, right? So this is the 4444, and here all the nodes are attached to that. Okay, so now what we can do, so okay, so we have created the three test cases here. Okay, these are all testng test. So now how to execute them? So we can execute them directly from here, one by one. Okay, run as testng test, but that won't serve our purpose, right? Because we want to execute them parallelly, right? So for that one, what we can do, we can create the testng.xml file which will have these classes, and we can invoke the testng.xml file and we can run all the classes, right? And there in the testng.xml we can specify whether we want to run it parallelly or not. Okay, so let's go to the testng.xml. if you guys want to create a testng.xml file from these things, like from this package, all these things, you can directly go to the package and you can say testng, convert to testng you can say, or you can select the particular class. Suppose these two classes you want to add to the testng.xml, you can select both of them, right click and say testng, convert to testng, or you can select 3 and you can say testng, convert to testng, right? So when you say that, what happens, our testng.xml file is getting created. Okay, so now the testng.xml file is getting created. Okay, so initially when it will be generated, the name will be only suit and this one will not be there. Okay, and some thread count will be present and name will be test or something, whatever name you want to give, and there will be the classes, like how many classes are there, 3 classes, so these 3 classes will come here. So but my intention here is to run all of them in parallel, right? So I'll, for that I'll specify parallel equals to classes. So at the class level I am going to do the parallelization. So these classes, right, this Chrome, this Edge and this Firefox, these classes will run independently, right? Parallelly they will run. Okay, so now how can I run this one? I can invoke this one, run as testng shoot. When I say run as testng shoot, okay, let's go here, detected testng version 7.4.0 started. Okay, let's see here, nothing, right? 000. See, can you guys see? So sessions 1, max currency 1, here it's started, right? Here you can see, so here you can see, right? Create session, so almost at the similar time, like same time, like 45 and 47 a.m, right? Only these 2 seconds of the difference. So it's parallelly going to create the sessions. So first the Chrome is the first one to get executed using Chrome browser, title is Google, and similarly using Edge browser. Okay, still executing. Edge is little slower than Chrome, title is amazon.com, spend less smile more, and the last one will be the Firefox. The Firefox will get instantiated, and then yes, this is the one using Firefox browser, title is something, right? So yeah, so this is how we achieved our parallel execution with respect to the Docker grid. Okay, so this is, we ran through the testng.xml, and there is an option we can run them through the pom.xml also, through the Maven as well, right? So let's look into that, how to run these things in the Maven. So go to your pom.xml, and we already have the Selenium Java, right? And this is the dependency, and we also have the testng, because we are going to create the testng classes, right? So all the dependencies and all we have to add it here. So dependencies are there, and these two dependencies are there. But in order to compile the class files, right, testng files, we need the Maven compiler. If we want to compile through the Maven and run through the Maven, we need two things. One is the Maven compiler, another one is the Surefire plugin, right? So this Maven compiler is going to compile the source code, and this Surefire plugin is going to run them, right? And in this Surefire plugin we can mention like what is the suit.xml file, the name of the suit.xml file we can give. So here it is testng.xml. So now I'll do right click pom.xml, run as Maven test. Okay, so this is also one more way through which we can run it, right? Let's see. running test suite. Let's see started or not. It will come. See, you can see, right? Let's go here and see what it is printing on the console. As usual, Chrome is fastest. It's got executed. Then Edge will come. Yes, Amazon through the Edge, and in the last Firefox will come. Let's wait for some more time and see. Yes, done. Build success and it's done. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. So thanks for watching the video. uh, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos. That will motivate me to keep making more videos. So this is Smriti signing off. See you soon. Bye bye.